Good morning. Join me this morning on a very autumnal October morning for a lovely scenic walk. Today we're going to do Padley Gorge, walk up along Beverley Brook, over towards Higger Tor and then back again. There's some lovely scenery along the way, and I'm hoping with the leaves turning as they are, it should make for some very pretty walking. So we'll see what happens, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I know I'm about to. So behind me you can see Beverley Brook, which is a very picturesque location. Beautiful woodland, nice rock formations, babbling water, and up until I believe the mid-70s, that stream there used to be the border between Yorkshire and Derbyshire. Although because over time rivers move, it was moved to, I believe, the A625 Hathersage Road, which isn't too far from here. So there's times on walks where you're around the corner or come over an edge of something and you're surprised. So I've just climbed up the bank of Beverley Brook to carry on the footpath that I need to be on, and very woody scramble, lots of leaf litter as you would expect at this time of year, rocks, stones, that sort of thing, and then you crest over the hill. You're met with this beautiful lush forest, and it just warms you up. What a beautiful place. I don't know what that is. Someone's put a lot of time into it. So I'm still walking along Beverley Brook. I've come out of the woodland on Padley Gorge. I'm now in more of a moor sort of setting. I can see in front of me, I can see the Tors, which is where I'm heading to. Behind me now you can see a little lay-by. Ice cream van parked in there, very opportunistic. So it's nice to have a change of setting. So I've spoken in previous videos about the accessibility of the Peak District, and this place that I'm in now is no different. So I've just walked past or through Surprise View car park, which you can see behind me. It's on the main road through from Chesterfield and Sheffield through to Hathersage, and into the villages beyond, which eventually take you over towards Manchester, I believe. And a very, very popular walking place. It's a very good starting place if you want to go and see Surprise View itself. Walk over Higger Tor, over towards Higger Tor where I'm heading shortly. But Yeah, busy place, beautiful place, and one I would encourage people, if you're thinking about getting out and about, this is a very good place to start if you've got access to a car. If you've not, there's bus stops. So yeah, plenty of opportunities for anyone to get out and about, of any experience level really. So the reason that Surprise View is called Surprise View, as far as I'm aware anyway, is back when she was the reigning monarch, Queen Victoria was making her way over the moors in her carriage on one of her regal visits, and I can imagine she'd have been fairly bored travelling over the moorland. There's not really a lot to look at if you're not interested in that sort of thing. A bit featureless, there's the heather, there's the bracken, but other than that, not much. But then the path rounds a corner and we go from what you can see behind me now, being the moor, the whole world opens up. And even on a wet, cloudy day like this, you can still see Hathersage, you can see in the distance Win Hill, Loose Hill's over there as well, and on a good day you can see as far as Tor. And I can imagine that she would have had a nice sunny day, because she remarked, "Oh my, what a surprise view." And that's why it's now called Surprise View. So there you go, a little bit of local history for you. So behind me you can see a millstone, which is something that's synonymous with the Peak District, especially this area. In fact, it's the park's symbol is actually the millstone. Now, the area that I'm in now, which is over Higger Tor, going into Beverley Rocks and the surrounding area, in the 17 and 1800s was used as millstone quarries. And these stones, wheels, plates, whatever you want to call them, were used in the milling of flour, and they'd be paired together. The hole that you can see in the middle there would be used to put the raw wheat in, and the top wheel would spin using wind power off a windmill or a water mill, etc. And the flour would be pushed out of the outside of the two wheels together. Now, the wheels themselves weigh over 2 tons, so anything that wasn't quite up to scratch would just be left dumped here on the moors. And it's estimated that there are about 1,500 of these stones littered all over the Peak District, and they're quite interesting to look at, really. Hand carved, obviously, back before the Industrial Revolution, so someone at some point had a lot of effort wasted just to leave that thing there. But it leaves a nice feature for me to talk to you about. So here we are at the top of Higger Tor, which is about my halfway point. So it's taken about 4 miles for us to get here. The cloud is managing to keep off us, just about, but it's still quite dreary up here. But on a sunny day, it's absolutely stunning up here. Of course, on a more murky day, it does mean there's less people, so that means it's a lot quieter and more peaceful. So you take whatever wind you can get when you're out and about, don't you? So it's got a bit chilly now, being exposed. Just a constant, very gentle breeze, but one that starts to bite through. So you can see Higger Tor behind me. I'm making my way very soon toward Carl Walk, or Carl's Walk, depending on which side of the coin you flip. So there's a bit of a mystery, Carl Walk. It's a it's a bit of a plateau, like Higger Tor behind, a little bit lower. But there is a what's referred to as an escarpment. Basically, someone built a wall up here, and it's speculated that this wall was built in the Iron Age. So the speculation, again, none of this has been proven factual, it is only speculation, and whoever built it didn't leave too many clues by the sound of it. But they reckon it was built between the 5th or the 8th century BC. So someone's gone to a lot of work to build this wall up here. But upon Carl Walk, there is no obvious sign to anyone who's looked of any settlement here. So why they made it, why they built it, still remains a mystery. So some people think it would be for religious reasons. Some people think it would be to shelter. But again, and you can see behind me this wall, someone went to a lot of effort to build this for no permanent reason. So yeah, I've no ideas either, but if anyone else has any ideas they'd like to float in the comments, feel free. So the bridge that you've just seen me cross goes over Beverley Brook. So that stream will eventually run down into Padley Gorge, and it's that watercourse that has carved out over millennia the scenery you can see around us, which is amazing for such a little brook. So I've come down from Carl's Walk, and I'm making my way towards a section of the Sheffield Country Walk, which is a path that runs the outskirts of the city of Sheffield. Well, I must say, I can't really see much of Sheffield anywhere around me, so those outskirts have stretched pretty far, if you're asking me. I dare say there's going to be a proud Yorkshireman somewhere who'll disagree, but looks more like the Peak District to me than Sheffield. So I've crossed over the Hathersage Road, leaving Higger Tor and Carl Walk behind me, and I'm following Beverley Brook through the Longshore Estate. So I'm going to follow this back down into Padley Gorge, and then back to Grindleford where the car is parked. So yet again, another very accessible and busy in nice weather. Nice places, the Longshore Estate, lots of nice walks start from here. So again, I would encourage people to get out and about. There's bus routes here, obviously you can get there in the car as well. Yeah, beautiful area of the world. So if you can get here and you haven't, well, perhaps you should ask yourself why not, because you're missing out. So I've made it back to Grindleford station. I'm walking back towards the car now. So that ends today's walk. Clocks in at about 7.5 miles altogether. So if you've made it this far in the video, I assume you've enjoyed it. So if you have, please give me a little thumbs up on YouTube, I would appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, again, that would be lovely. But, at the very least, I hope you've enjoyed this walk as much as I have. And I hope you feel like getting yourself outdoors as well now. So until next time, guys, happy walking.